If you're an engineer or technically minded with at least 10 years experience in an industry and you're looking for what's next in your career, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to share with you what has worked for me as I transitioned out of corporate America to become a successful executive coach and consultant. You know, I'm not some guy with all the answers who found the fast track to fame and fortune or somebody who's figured out some shortcut or easy approach. I'm an engineer who has put in the work as an entrepreneur, an executive at a Fortune 10 company, and now as an executive coach and consultant. I've also struggled and have come through a very challenging time in life when I left the security of corporate America in my 50s. But now I have a career and a lifestyle which is really satisfying and fulfilling. It's also financially very rewarding, far more than I expected. What I had to learn the hard way is one of the universal truths. You can find this in religions and in the biographies of great men and women, and that is that it's giving back and contributing to someone, like you do in coaching, that has the greatest rewards in life. You know, this may not be new news for you, but if you're interested in coaching and have not done anything about it, there might be something stopping you. And if you're questioning your credentials, if you don't know where to start or what to do, I understand. But I suspect you don't realize the value and the importance of the expertise and experience that you have. In my book, I don't necessarily provide a how-to become a coach, because frankly, most of the how-to books don't work anyway. What I provide is a mindset and a framework which has worked for me and gave me the conviction to just go for it. In my experience, there's a huge demand for leadership and lots of real evidence that says the practice of leadership is really the key to producing results in an organization and to creating an engaged workforce. But it's also my experience working with a number of CEOs recently that leadership is really poorly understood because leadership has been co-opted by the self-help industry. A lot of leadership coaching and seminars are really about personal effectiveness and self-motivation, not about leading people in a business. Look, personal effectiveness is important and it's necessary, but it's only a tip of the iceberg. And I like that iceberg metaphor because the biggest part of the iceberg is missing. It's out of sight for most people. And the biggest part of coaching is really this foundation, this deep experience and understanding, really knowing the systems, knowing the science, how and why an industry or profession works. The good news is for those of you with experience that you have this deep knowledge. And in this instant world we have now, this deep knowledge is getting more and more valuable. You know, I've found that really sharp CEOs get this. Business experience is valuable not just because of the content. It's not the subject matter expertise that's important. It's because you've learned the abstract distinctions in the profession or the industry. What I mean is the abstract distinctions of leadership like alignment or accountability or collaboration. They can't be acquired from a book or from a seminar any more than the abstract concept of respect and trust can be acquired from a book. But I found there's an unwritten rule which has proven true for me, and that is you can only get these abstractions after you have learned the basics of a profession. You know, I like sports analogy because I played sports a lot growing up. I played varsity tennis, and I like the tennis analogy because in tennis, you can't think about your strategy or how to align your purpose as a tennis player until you learned how to hit the ball and you started to play and compete. The pros don't think about how they hit the ball. It's all automatic. And because it's automatic, they can focus on the strategy and the tactics. It's exactly the same in business. If you don't know the basics of an industry or your job, you can't focus on leadership. Therefore, there is one truth about coaching, and that is not everyone with deep experience will be a great coach, but every great coach has deep experience. Leadership is not just about more discipline or accountability. Great coaches know that, like in tennis, you might need technical help with something like your backhand before you can improve and move to the next level. You know, I spent many years in the air conditioning business, and if you don't have a really good concept and grasp of thermodynamics and the laws of energy, if you don't thoroughly understand the construction cycles and manufacturing concepts, you'll lose the respect of your team and your customers. And without the trust and respect, you can't lead or coach. The most successful leaders are really excellent engineers too, and technicians. They know the science and they know the industries inside and out. And as you move up the learning curve of experience, you see how these different forces affect the organization. For example, you see how the economy influences construction cycles, and then how these construction cycles influence the alignment and accountability of your team. And you may have to shift your leadership based on what's going on in the economy. You learn collaboration by doing it. As you build a team for the first and the second time, you learn by failing and trying along the way, because part of learning is learning to fail. And it's through failure you learn about yourself. And you learn empathy, and the more empathy you get, the better coach you're going to be. Because the more you know the basics, and you've been through something 10 and 20 times, this helps you commit to something. And when you authentically commit to something, people are going to follow you. Well, it seems obvious. You have to get good at what you do every day and not worry about who you're going to be someday. One thing I know for sure is that 100% of the people that I've worked with, everybody, say that when they got better at doing what they do every day, they enjoyed it more. That's why masters in their crafts like Roger Federer or Tom Brady say that they enjoy playing now more than ever before. You know, every single successful leader has struggled. Usually, the more you struggle, the stronger you get. And then the more you enjoy what you're doing. This was the most important lesson for me because for a long time, my attention was on who I was going to become, not what I was doing every day. So the first part of the mindset of coaching is an appreciation for your craft and for deep knowledge. If you've done the work to move up in your organization or your industry, you have something to share, and you're going to make a great coach for somebody. As a leader and as a coach, you have to appreciate that your clients are going to have to trust and respect you. Without trust and respect, you're not going to be an effective coach. You may inspire and motivate them, but this is just a small part of coaching. So step one in being a great coach is having a deep industry experience and professional expertise. In the videos that follow, I'm going to go through the coaching process and provide you tools to help you build a coaching practice in and outside of an organization. So if you like this message, please let me know and subscribe to the channel. I would love to hear your comments about this and your thoughts, and I promise to answer every comment.